What's up everybody, Taylor with KC here, and this is our built Can-Am Defender. This thing for us is a workhorse of a vehicle, but also a media support vehicle that we get to run around, do trail runs on, all kinds of fun stuff. So we built this thing up to do a variety of different tasks, and it fits the job really, really well for us. So in this video, we wanted to do a trail test on it, take it out, see how it does now that we built it up. When it was stock, it looked a little lame. It was a little bit low to the ground, so it didn't quite work for what we needed it to do, but now it's a completely different animal. So we're gonna dive into the suspension, tires, wheels, bed rack, all that good stuff later on in the video. But for now, let's go hit the trail, see how it does. So let's just take a quick minute to go over the build on the Can-Am. First of all, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to UTV Source and Rick DeWeese. I went down, took this down to his house down in Phoenix, Arizona, and we did the whole build pretty much at his house. That includes tires, wheels, suspension. We did the stereo there. We got the lights installed, all that kind of stuff. Now, some of the rest of it that we're gonna get into, the bed rack, the wrap, things like that, we did afterwards on our own. But we did a lot of that really cool stuff at his house. We had his daughter Ava running around the shop with us. We had a bunch of friends come help us out. AZ Willis did some of the custom bracketry on that Pro 6 light bar up above the windshield. So again, huge shout out to UTV Source and to Rick for their major help on this thing. So with that, let's kind of dive into what we actually put onto the Defender. There are some amazing components on this thing, and a lot of great support from some of our industry partners. So let's kind of start at the ground and work our way up. First of all, we have EFX tires on this thing. They're 32s, they work really well from a wide variety of different scenarios. Out in the desert, a little bit higher speed. Obviously it's more of a utility vehicle, so you don't get super high speed, but anything from that environment to up in the rocks like it kind of is right now, to the mud, to the snow, things like that, back home in Arizona where we're at, those tires work really well. Then we also threw the Fuel Maverick true beadlock wheels on this thing, just a little bit more durability than a non-beadlock wheel, and we wanted to have that assurance when we were out here so we could really air it down and get some really good traction out of those tires by running that low air pressure. So tire wheels covered. Now onto the suspension side of things. We are running an HCR control arm kit, front and rear. In the front, it bumps the tires and the wheels up about 2 inches forward to allow for that clearance, that 32-inch tire. Otherwise, it'd be rubbing all over the plastic. So the HCR kit is a fully boxed, welded, really beautiful control arm. We then ended up taking it and powder coating it into a gloss black so that it matched the rest of the build. That's a control arm kit, and then we have the Z-Bros exit shocks on here. They are the remote reservoir shocks with this beautiful gold anodized clicker on it. So it's got 24 levels of adjustment on the remote reservoir for these shocks. They're really great setup for us. We pretty much just run it dead center all the time between soft and hard on the compression adjuster. Haven't really found many scenarios where we need to go super stiff or super soft yet. So although we love that feature, we actually found a really good setting just dead in the center and kind of have stuck to it from there. So the next thing that you'll kind of notice as we work our way up on the vehicle is the wrap itself. So we did a multi-cam black camo wrap on it with, of course, our signature KC yellow accents on top of that. And then the folks down in Phoenix, they did a great job on that. So huge shout out to them and thank you for that. Multicam was a great sponsor for this thing, getting this thing all wrapped up. Then continuing up on the vehicle, you see a really cool bed rack behind us. So that is a Razorback off-road bed rack specific for the Can-Am Defender, so it matches perfectly, it lines, it's bolt-on, really nice application, and it gave us a really good mounting point for a couple accessories on the outside. We've got our Rotopacks on one side and we've got our Max Tracks on the other side. Oftentimes, like today, this is a media vehicle, so sometimes we're out in the middle of nowhere. We kind of want to be self-sufficient with this vehicle and not have to rely on somebody else to come get us. So that's why we chose to mount some things like that. It's also got a really nice platform up top, so when we have our Pelican cases for camera gear, all that stuff loaded on top of it, there's tie-down points so that we can strap everything nice and securely when we're going from point to point. So that is the bed rack. As you can see, we have cyclones mounted on the back of that. They're the amber color, so they're really good for dust lights. When you're going at high speeds and people are following behind you, you're kicking up a lot of dust. That's so people can see you. It's not so that we can see anything behind us when we're backing up, nothing like that. It's really just a pure visibility safety light for us. Also on the bed rack, we have C2s, they're side area floodlights, kicked out to the side. So we have those so that when we're working in areas at night, or even when we're just loading up on the trailer at night, we can kind of see the working area around us. Now, moving forward, we also have a bunch of lights in the front of the vehicle. Namely, we have a 50-inch Gravity LED Pro 6 light bar up top. That's a really long distance lighting option covered up there. And then lower on the bumper, depending on the day, normally we have a set of Flex Era 4s that we have in the combo beam pattern down there for that really nice short to mid-range fill. And with that one set of Flex Era 4s, you really don't need anything else for short to mid-range or even the periphery other than that Pro 6 for the long distance lighting. So that's typically the package that we're running on this thing. Today, kind of in the middle of this trail test video that we're doing with our built Can-Am Defender, we're also doing another video comparing Flex Era 3 to Flex Era 4. So we also have Flex Era 3s mounted on it too. So it's gonna be kind of interchangeable in this video. Finally, for lighting, underneath we have Cyclone rock lights completely underneath the whole thing. We've got 6 of them, 2 up front, 2 in the center, and then 2 in the rear. Really nice setup. So I think overall that's the bulk of the outside of the vehicle. And we didn't really do a whole lot to the inside of the Can-Am Defender. This thing has power windows, heating, air conditioning. It's got a flip out windshield. It's got a lot of really nice creature comfort creatures, whatever the word is, saying is, inside of it. So really the only thing left to add was, number one, a switch pros to control all of our electronic accessories to it. So we got the 9100 installed on that. Huge thank you to SDHQ for hooking us up with that thing. And then also we have a Stinger audio system inside of it with their little Power Sports Media Control Center up above us. It's got the RGB color changing speakers in the thing, so it's a really nice sound system. Obviously the Can-Am itself is pretty loud with that motor kind of oriented in the back, so it's actually nice sometimes when we're just cruising, we want to have some music when we're going point to point and not really worried about what shots we're getting or leading the trail and communicating with folks behind us, things like that. So it is really nice to have that stereo system inside. Finally, the last thing is a rugged radios communication system in there. Really nice to have that to actually be able to talk to the people that are with you on the trail when we're leading trail runs in this thing, because oftentimes we lead night runs in it. It's really nice to have that rugged radios kit in there to be able to communicate with everybody. So I think with that, that's pretty much the bulk of everything that's in this build. So I think that kind of covers everything. Now it's time to get back, hit the trail, and go finish up this video.